Hello, welcome back. I know another surprise live, but I've just read something that was unbelievable and I had to share it with you. My name is Joanne. You've come across my channel. If you are a regular here, welcome. If you're one of my choir members, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. If you are a subscriber, thank you very much. If you've just stumbled across this page, welcome. If you're watching this live or on the replay crew, thank you. So there has been a Senate Estimates Committee revealing about a lot of costs. So yesterday we found out about the Airbnb saga. 500 grand was spent on Airbnbs for federal government staffers coming back. Well, this morning, Fox Sports has shown an article. So Home Affairs had to reveal the cost of the legal saga with Djokovic. So, Home Affairs reveals legal costs in Novak Djokovic saga. Australia's legal costs for Novak Djokovic's fiasco are only estimated, to be $360,000, but it's not the final figure. Hello to the Fox. The hefty bill was revealed during Senate's estimates hearing on Monday night. Now, it doesn't take into account the division of legal costs that were awarded in both court stoushes that took place. The Department of Home Affairs was ordered to pay the legal costs for the first federal court matter, in which the original cancellation of the state tennis star's visa was squashed. But Djokovic was ordered to pay the costs in his subsequent failed bid to overturn Immigration Minister Alex Hawke's decision to send him packing. Hopefully, they'll net out at zero. Hopefully. Home Affairs Secretary Michael Pizzello said during the hearing. The department's legal group manager, Pip DeVio, said the fees hadn't been paid yet, but it is estimated to be $360,000, not taking into account the cost orders. The combined estimate at this stage would be in the vicinity of $360,000 without being any awards going either way. That includes external legal expenses and legal expenses internally. Costs were awarded against the department in the first proceedings. Costs were awarded for the department in the second. We'll need to get the invoices and make the determination in consultation with Mr. Djokovic's lawyers to see how those two cost orders are sorted out. So, now what's really interesting, though, is that it was also revealed in Senate estimates last night that this debacle could have been fixed if an app the Australian government had promised in November of 2021 had been operational, because it would have actually had asked for the vaccination status to be updated 48 hours before they left, and he would not have been able to even get on a plane. Now, apparently, it's not going to be operational until September. So, and it's very quite concerning, actually, because that was all looked at last night about it all. How they didn't know that Novak. Well, I don't know why they didn't know he was. I still don't. There's still, to me, too many questions being asked. I mean, it's too many questions not answered. Yeah, I just don't know. I just don't know why no one was onto it. Apparently, it could have been solved. I was reading something by Christine Keneally on Twitter this morning, and she was talking about it. Let me see if I can find the tweet, because that was really revealing, where she talked about it. This and it was quite, as I said, it's Twitter. Take it for what it's worth, but Let's see. I can find it. Yeah, apparently that's secret according to Home Affairs. So Home Affairs, I mean, it was really looking at Home Affairs and all right, let's have a look. I'm sure it was Christine Keneally. Yeah, here we go. Here it is. This is what she tweeted. This was Christine Keneally. The incompetence of the Morris Joyce government is staggering. In estimates today, we learnt the border cluster that was the Novak Djokovic saga could have been avoided if the government had delivered its digital passenger declaration capability on time. The digital passenger declaration uploads COVID vaccination information digitally 72 hours before a person gets on the plane. If a person does not meet vaccination requirements, the airline is instructed not to let them board. The Morrison government announced it in October 2020. They promised it would be here in July 2021. Then they said it would be here in November 2021. Then they said it would be here in December 2021. Now they're saying it won't be fully operational until June 2022. Home Affairs officials just acknowledged estimates that Novak Djokovic could have been stopped from getting on a plane to Australia if the digital passenger declaration capability had been in place. Why is the digital passenger declaration capability so behind schedule? Wait for it. Because the Morrison Joyce government did not provide Home Affairs with the funding to do it. The government has been talking about upgrading this digital capability at our borders since 2017. They've wasted over $100 million to date, and we still don't have the system up and running. Then she says, Labor will be taking no lectures from this incompetent Liberal mob that couldn't even stop one tennis player at the Australia border without creating international embarrassment for our country and for the Australian Open. So how much did the passenger declaration cost? They say it's commercial in confidence, which means they don't know. So apparently it was supposed to go live today. Well, that's right. They also promised that there would be people home. So anyway, that is what Christine Keneally has stated, that they acknowledged that he could have been stopped from getting on the plane had this digital capability. But then why? And then it still gets into, well, why was he allowed on the plane? Why was he allowed to get on the plane? Still, we've still got, there's still so many questions that we don't have answers to, in my opinion, about this whole saga. However, we do know that it's costing huge amounts of money. So this has all come out of the Senate Estimates Committee. So the Senate Estimates Committee is when departments have to go and justify the money that they've spent. And then we've got here the National Audit Office. Accuses another federal grant program of favouring coalition-held seats. The Australian National Audit Office has criticised the management of a federal grants program used to improve community safety, finding it favours government-held seats and decisions. Without clear and recorded justifications. The $184 million Safety Communities Fund was established in 2016 to address crime and antisocial behaviour by providing schools or at-risk organisations with money for more security cameras and streetlights. The The NO found almost 60% of all projects funded since 2016 have been in coalition-held electorates compared to 27% in Labor electorates. Funding decisions are not appropriately informed by department briefings for the majority of decisions. The basis for the decisions was not clearly recorded, the audit report said. The audit confirmed current Defence Minister Peter Dutton approved 2 separate applications worth nearly $200,000 that did not meet the department's criteria after visiting the applicants during an earlier by-election. In February last year, the ABC revealed Mr. Dutton overruled his department's recommendations on grant funding when he was Home Affairs Minister. During Senate estimates hearing on Monday, the Australian National Audit Office official Brian Boyd confirmed it was Mr. Dutton who approved the funding during the 2018 Braddon by-election. The department went through an exercise after that happened of presenting options to the minister in terms of, do you wish to separately carve out an arrangement for these two to receive funding without any competition should they be invited to apply and compete with other applicants through a competitive process, Mr. Boyd said. It was then through the assessment process that they didn't come up as being those assessed as the most meritorious, but they were selected for funding in any event. The audit also highlighted a decision by an assistant minister to award $1.3 million to 5 applicants despite departmental advice the projects were unsuitable for funding after merits-based assessments. In round 3 of funding allocations, coalition-held seats represented a higher proportion of approved applications in numerical and dollar terms than they represented as a proportion of the application population. The audit report also found religious organisations received 84% of funding, although some religious leaders have argued Christian and Jewish organisations are favoured. A number of submissions received by the NO from Hindu and Tamil communities raised issues with the accessibility of grant funding opportunity, including whether there is favouritism towards European religions or communities. The Hindu the Hindu Council of Australia told NO the departments have consistently failed to give grants to Indian, Hindu, Jain, Buddhist communities. Multicultural Affairs Minister Alex Hawke conceded that improvements to processes could be made to ensure all religious organisations have a fair go when applying. I think there can be unconscious biasness in departments about issues in relation to different religions. I've spoken to my secretary about that over the years. We are constantly working to improve our train our officers in better cultural awareness about all faiths. How they operate, sometimes they are very different structurally compared to Western religions, and I think we can make improvements there. Last year, the NEO found a $660 million fund to build 47 commuter car parks near train stations was not merit-based. The distribution of projects selected reflected the geographical and political profile of those given the opportunity by government to identify candidates for funding considerations. So again, this is something else that's come out of the Senate's estimates hearing. And the last thing I'm going to mention is there were 5 Victorian opposition MPs fined for mask rules. So the opposition leader, Victoria opposition leader Matthew Guy, says the mask rules are confusing. So 5 members of the Victorian Coalition, including opposition leader Matthew Guy, have been fined by police. So they were Nationals leader Peter Walsh, the opposition Upper House leader David Davis, Narracombe MP Gary Blackwood, and Eastern Victoria MP Melina Bath. Masks are still required in all indoor settings for people aged 8 and above under Victoria's COVID-19 rules, with some exemptions allowed, such as inside private homes. I don't know what's confusing about that. Police confirmed the MPs will be fined $100 in coming days. In a public statement, Mr. Guy said the group had cooperated with Victoria Police and said the fines would be paid promptly. The Victorian Liberals and Nationals will continue to advocate for the removal of face mask mandates in low-risk settings so we can begin to recover, rebuild and move forward, Mr. Guy said. Now, if you remember, the Premier was fined $400 last year for when he was filmed without a mask. And at the time, Mr. Guy said the Premier should be fined if he did not have a legitimate excuse for not wearing a mask and face the full force of the law. On Monday afternoon, Mr. Walsh told the ABC Victoria's statewide drive program the group was expecting fines to be sent from police. If that's the case, we pay the fine, we move on. When host Nicole Chavez compared the fines with the one Mr. Andrews received last year, Mr. Walsh said he paid his fine, we'll pay ours. So the Liberal National Opposition are still advocating for masks to be removed in low-risk settings, but workplaces are still deemed high risk. So I don't know what they're really talking about. To me, if you're indoors, you wear a mask. It's pretty simple. I don't know what's confusing about that, because that's the rules. So, and I think to be fined $100 is pretty poor. I think they should be fined more than that, but that's just me. So, yeah. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to love you all and leave you all. I just wanted to come on and just say hello and talk about the fact that the legal bills for Novak Djokovic has come out. I mean, he has actually stated, he did state in January that Tennis Australia was going to be paying his legal fees, which Tennis Australia has denied. So I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why it's only $100. So this is from the 19th of January. They're saying that this, and it's been reported, there's reports that Tennis Australia was paying the bill, which means the taxpayer is paying the bill. But Tennis Australia has not denied the allegation. But they're saying so they've not come out and confirmed or denied it, but it looks like that he would have to pay his fees around the $500,000 mark at least. So but yeah, I don't know. So thank you, Dee. How are you? So anyway, I don't know. So that's all still yet to be determined. But hopefully, Tennis Australia is not paying his legal fees, because I don't think it's really fair if we're having to pay both sides of the coin. So I don't know what we've got. All I know is that I don't think that $100 is enough. In my opinion. So I don't know what you all think. I'm going to try and get the details of what's happening with the Labor Party and the red shirts and stuff like that. Well, I think the fines should be the same regardless. I mean, let's face it, at that stage, while you had to wear a mask outdoors, it was less risk than indoors. And if you look at the photos, none of them were socially distancing. So it would seem on the face of it that it was more of a high-risk setting than what Andrews was, but, it being outdoors. I still just wear my mask. Sometimes I forget to take my mask off when I'm outside, and I just wear it because, it's easy just to keep it on. But again, that's just me. So, yeah, so I don't know, as I said, I don't know what's going on with anything. It's really weird, but well, yeah, I look, all of that stuff I agree it was from a long time ago, but they're just trying to, find some dirt. The Liberals want to win an election, so they're going to do whatever they can to do it, I think. But anyway, I just and Ben Roberts-Smith, that's there's some interesting stuff that's come out of that as well. His wife said that she found out about the affair when the girlfriend turned up with a black eye. So that's also very interesting. So there's all this stuff happening at the moment in the courts and stuff. I just can't keep up with it all. I don't have enough hours in my day. So, oh dear. I'm trying to keep up, but I just can't at the moment. It's just... So anyway, I'm going to love you all and leave you all. I will catch you again next time. I don't know when I'll be on again. Yeah, that was the other. I mean, I couldn't understand that either, why he would do that either. Well, there's so much I just don't understand at the moment. Oh, and I don't know whether you saw this. We'll finish off with this because this is pretty cool. It's not that shouldn't be what it is. So hang on, one more thing. I don't know whether you've seen this, but a dragon came out yesterday, and dismissed the. Hang on, where are we? Here we go. Where are we? I'm just trying to find where it's from. Here we go. This came from Dragon yesterday. I'm just trying to get it onto my other screen at the moment. It's not moving. So this is Dragon. It says, Dragon official statement. Like many times before, Dragon is back in the headlines for the wrong reasons. This time it's the Honourable Scott Morrison, MP, Prime Minister of Australia's interpretation of April Sun in Cuba. Written by two New Zealanders living in Australia, Paul Houston and Mark Hunter, both since passed, about a long ago diplomatic fracas on the other side of the world. It is a cynical move for a politician to co-opt music in an attempt to humanise themselves come election time. Maybe if his trip to Hawaii had not been cut short, he could have learnt the lyrics to the rest of the chorus. Take me where the April sun, gonna treat me so right, so right, so right, Dragon. So, yeah, they weren't very impressed. But anyway, so, as I said, I thought that was quite interesting that they came out and said, nope, Prime Minister, you're not going to have it. So, anyway, I'm going to catch you all later. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you again next time. Bye for now.